Hey there, Rocket League players. So I figured I would do a more in-depth camera settings tutorial because I already did one for a YouTube short recently. However, it doesn't really go into the why about each setting, and it doesn't even cover all of them. So if you would like to see that and not really go into all the details about each setting, make sure to go check that out. If you don't want to look at that and you want to know why to choose each setting so that you can customize your own, definitely stick around. Alright, let's get started. So, in my intro, I was using the default camera settings, and as you can see, the first thing here is camera shake. Now, this is what it looks like when I hit the ball with camera shake on. As you can see, there's a little jarring motion, it kind of bumps around. I'll do it again. It makes the camera blurry for a moment. This is one of those things that you want to immediately turn off. No matter your rank, no matter how long you've played Rocket League, it's one of the very first things you should do. It's just check. Now you've turned camera shake off, and anytime you hit the ball or do a flip, it's going to be a lot more smooth. I think a lot of players, they fight against this because they prefer to have some sensation as they play, just allowing them to know when they're close to the ball, like when they hit it or when they're doing proper flips. However, in Rocket League, you don't actually want to have sensation during every hit because your controller is going to be constantly buzzing the higher the rank you go. So it's good to turn that off early and get used to playing a very smooth video game. Now, the next setting is field of view. The default for this is 90 degrees, but I think that it's good for every new player to push this up all the way to 109 or, in my opinion, 110. This allows you to see a lot more, and as you can see, it makes the car a lot smaller, so it takes up less of the screen. The third setting here, and actually the fourth, they go together quite closely. It's distance and height. So the default here is 270 and 100, and I actually keep these default. Now the reason for this is because you see how nice my car looks? Well, the problem is that it does block quite a bit of the screen. So as I was ranking up, I changed these. I put distance all the way up to, I think it was 380 at first, and height to 120. This way I could see much more of the field. However, soon I started to realize that, oh wait, this is a little too far up. So I put distance down to 320. Now this was better. As you can see, my car is a little bit bigger, but it's still a little harder to control your car. And like as I ranked up, I began to notice issues with my mechanics. My awareness was very good because I had a very high up view of the field. However, I was sacrificing other parts of my gameplay. So I did give in, and eventually I put it right back down to 270 and 100. The reason for this is because I noticed that a lot of pro players have it at the default, and I started to realize that it's a very good medium zone, where it does block a little of your vision. However, it does allow you to be more mechanical, and that is a good trade-off. Alright, the next setting is angle, and as I mentioned in my short form video, this should be between -3, -4, or -5. I keep mine at -5 so that it's looking nicely over the car and easier to see over the ball if I carry it on my roof. A lot of pros keep it around -4 or -5, whereas freestylers like to keep it nice and low so they can get a good view from behind their car. Wouldn't it be nice if the car was always at the same place in front of the camera? Because that is what stiffness at level 1 does. Notice how, when I'm boosting at full speed, my car is always about the same distance away from the bottom of the screen. Now, watch as I change stiffness all the way down to 0. Do you see how far away my car goes now? So I thought it must be easier to learn how to hit the ball consistently if it's close. Now, to be quite honest, I'm not actually sure exactly why most pro players keep their stiffness at 0.5, but I did notice that my car seemed to move more elegantly and swiftly when I put it back down. However, I almost would recommend that as a beginning player, you put your stiffness up to 1 so that your car is always in the same space in front of your screen. When it comes to swivel speed, I've noticed that a higher number is actually better. It starts you off at 2.5, however, this means that when your car turns, the camera stays directly behind it. Now, I turn my swivel speed all the way up to 6. This means that when I turn my car, it's a little bit more fluid. The camera doesn't immediately follow it. as you can see with these wiggles, the camera doesn't turn too much, and this allows it to be very smooth and still. Now, the game starts you off at 1, and that is the transition speed between ball cam and car cam. As you can see here, it only goes up to 2, but that is extremely quick. So I like to keep mine at 1.3. It's a little bit faster than default speed, but a lot slower than instantaneous, and it makes for a nice speed between turning off ball cam and seeing from my car's view. Here are my settings one last time. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was extremely quick, however, this doesn't need to be a super in-depth topic, as you can do your own experimentation and figure this out for yourself. Find what works for you, even if it's not what pros do, or what I do, or what anyone else does, and just make sure that you enjoy your Rocket League experience. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.